Recently, I said one of the best ways to level up your financial literacy is to listen to money podcasts. And since we're all about practical conversations here are the top 5 podcasts that I would recommend for beginners or somebody who's just trying to level up their financial literacy. Number 1, which will always be number 1, is She's on the Money podcast. It is by far, I think, the best podcast in terms of personal finance. It's ran by Victoria Devine. She's an ex-financial planner. She's absolutely amazing. And I will fight anyone who says they've listened to more podcasts than me, because it is actually not feasible, because I've listened to each and every single one of them because they are so valuable. What I love about it is the structure and the value that you get from it. Next podcast that I'll recommend is the Get Rich Slow Club. It's very easy to digest, very simplified. A lot of the episodes aren't long, so if you're not somebody who wants long episodes, these are really like good bite sizes. At the start, it did focus on investing in like ETFs and stuff like that, but now they talk about like broader topics, and again, really like very easy to digest, very easy to understand. Third podcast that I'm going to recommend is called Money, aka M3. This podcast has a very soft spot for me in my heart because it is the very first podcast that I listened to that got me into this whole money realm. And like Grant James was like the pioneer back in the day, and like there's absolutely no one who was doing this back in the day. Really love how casual and conversational it is. Sometimes it does get a bit technical, and then sometimes it's just like a good chit chat. Sometimes you have different guests on the podcast as well. So again, really good, I guess, from like holistic lens. It just doesn't cover like one topic of personal finance. They cover so many different types of topics. Number 4 is Scouting Australia podcast. Now this one is more specific to property investing. I really like the investor series. So pretty much they get people to call in who have like their own property investing portfolio. Some people have 3, some people have 12, some people have 10, and they literally break down step by step how much each property cost, how did they get into that deal, how did they get to the next deal, how do they save. And sometimes these are people, just day-to-day life. Some people are tradies, some people are teachers and the like. So it's really good to hear from like day-to-day people and how they've built their investing portfolio. This final one is, previously it was Girls That Invest, but now it's called Friends That Invest. And again, really like it. Sometimes it can get a bit technical, but I like that. It's not technical in the sense that it's overwhelming. It's technical maybe in the sense that they actually specifically talk about specific ETFs, specific shares and things like that. But then I'll also say it's quite beginner friendly. She did also release a book called Girls That Invest that I have read that I'll also recommend. The overall theme of all these podcasts and why I like them is they're very easy to understand. A lot of them bring on real life people, not like business people or like crazy entrepreneurs, which is nothing bad about that. But sometimes I feel like when you're just the average Joe who has a 9-to-5, you want to hear stories from other people who have a 9-to-5 and how they've built their wealth and how they're growing their personal finance journeys. I have so many that I can recommend. So if you want me to make a separate video that's property specific, let me know. If you want me to make a separate one that's not just restricted to Australian podcasts, let me know. Or if you just want like a part 2 of like my next recommended podcast series to listen to, let me know. But these were definitely the top 5 that I'd say, a good place to start.
Become financially literate with me. Hi, I'm Aaliyah Hutchins. I'm a 23-year-old from Canada, and I'm sharing all the financial literacy advice that I learned as a girl who's trying to become more financially literate. One of the pieces of advice that I got recently from the financial literacy course I'm taking is to not use more than 30% of your allotted credit on a credit card or credit line. This means if you have $1,000 to spend on a credit card, you should not use more than $300 of that allotted money. This is because the bank wants to see that you don't need all the money that they're giving you or lending you each month on your credit card, but they still want to see you're able to pay off, your credit cards and be financially responsible with your money without going overboard or having your payments roll over into another month, gathering interest. If you use more than 30% each month, it can impact your credit score in a negative way. I thought this was interesting, so I thought I'd share.
I make more money than 90% of the finance bros that you've ever met, so it's time to stop listening to them and start listening to the women on this app who are actually financially fluent and don't own a Patagonia vest. These are 3 niche finance tips that I've incorporated into my life to help me handle my money better. I automate everything, and that includes alerts on my phone to check what's in my bank account. All of my credit card payments, my investments are on auto pay and auto invest. It's not cute to say, oh, I don't even want to look at my balance. It's not cute. Get with it. You can't fix what you don't track. I started investing in stocks, and no, you do not need to know what a stock is to invest in one. You don't need a finance degree, you don't need some guy mansplaining it to you, and you don't need to follow the market. Just pick 3 ETFs, put some money in there, even $50, and you're good to go. Confidence comes from participation, not perfection. Started with really small financial goals. Your financial goal doesn't have to be, I need to save for a house or my big wedding. It can just be, I'm trying to save for iced coffee 3 times a week and not feel guilty about it. The point is to build the habit of allocating your money with purpose. Start budgeting small. If you do not tell your money where to go, it will go everywhere or nowhere. Financial literacy is not just for men, and it's not just about being rich. It's about control over where your money is. I promise you, it's so hot to be a girly who knows where her finances are, where they're going, where they're invested, than being someone who just doesn't even check their bank account.
When I was in my 20s, I only had 2 of these, but I'm going to tell you the 4 accounts you need to have in order to start earning money and understanding money a little bit better. We're starting off with the checking account. This is where your paycheck lands and where you pay your bills and your credit card. No monthly fee, no minimum balance, and FDIC insured. Some of my favorites are Capital One, Discover, and Ally. Next up, we have the high yield savings account. This is where you put your vacation fund, emergency fund, sinking funds, any money that you're saving and is going to be used in the near future. No fees, no direct deposit, and FDIC insured. Some accounts will require you to have a direct deposit in order to earn the full interest, but there's accounts without it, so you can just go with one of them. Capital One, Ally, and Marcus are just some of my favorites. If you're opening your first credit card, choose something that doesn't have an annual fee. And if you don't have any credit score, your best options are going to be a secured card, a student card, or to be added as an authorized user on someone else's card. 2 very important things here. You want to pay off your card at the end of every month and also schedule automatic payments so you never forget to make that payment. And the last account is a Roth IRA. This is just going to give you access to the stock market. If you invest just $100 a month from age 18 to 65, by the time you retire, you will have $1.2 million. And since you're just getting started, probably the best investment options for you would be an ETF like VTI or VOO. VTI tracks the entire stock market and VOO tracks the top 500 companies in the United States. My favorite places to open a Roth IRA are Vanguard, Fidelity, and Schwab. Let me know if you want me to do an illustration like this for investing as well. I'd be happy to.